Lobster fishing is an important traditional occupation in many coastal areas of Vietnam, especially in the central and southern regions. The main methods of catching lobsters are using cages, traps or drag nets. Lobster cages are usually made of metal or plastic, shaped like a square or round cage, and are lowered to the seabed in areas where lobsters live. Lobsters are lured into the cages by live baits such as fish or shrimp. In addition, some fishermen also use drag nets to catch lobsters, but this method is less popular. Lobster fishing requires experienced workers to search for and correctly identify the habitat of lobsters, because they often hide in crevices in rocks or coral reefs. After catching lobsters, people must take care of and keep them in special cages. Keeping them alive for a long time, and achieving the best quality. In addition to the method of using cages and traps, there are currently some fishermen who use diving techniques to catch lobsters. Scuba diving is a form of lobster fishing in which divers go to the bottom of the sea, looking for caves or crevices where lobsters live. Diving requires good health, solid diving skills and the ability to recognize signs of lobsters. However, this is a dangerous profession, because fishermen may encounter risks from dangerous marine creatures, or unfavorable weather conditions. After being caught, lobsters are often carefully handled to ensure that they are not damaged, helping them live longer and maintain fresh meat quality. In addition, lobster fishing must also comply with regulations on protecting aquatic resources. Such as fishing seasons, minimum sizes and limiting the number of catches to protect the sustainable development of this species. Therefore, lobster fishing is not only a profession that generates income, but also requires attention to the conservation of marine resources, ensuring that future generations can continue to exploit this resource. To protect lobster resources and ensure sustainable fishing, authorities regularly organize propaganda campaigns and monitor the implementation of regulations on lobster protection. One of the important measures is to prohibit the fishing of baby lobsters or immature lobsters so that they can grow and reproduce. Fishermen are also encouraged to use fishing methods that are less harmful to the marine environment, such as using cages instead of trawling, helping to minimize the impact on other species in the marine ecosystem. In addition, the lobster industry is also aiming to develop lobster farming to reduce pressure on natural fishing. The lobster farming model is increasingly being widely applied in coastal areas, helping to provide a stable source of lobsters and minimize overexploitation in the wild. However, lobster farming also requires high care techniques and strict management of the farming environment. seawater and food to ensure the quality of farmed lobsters meets standards. In short, lobster fishing is not only an industry that brings income to many fishing families but also requires a combination of environmental protection measures and sustainable development. When regulations on marine resource protection are strictly implemented, lobster fishing will be able to maintain and develop in the long term, contributing to protecting marine resources for future generations. In order to continue to maintain and develop sustainable lobster fishing, cooperation between fishermen, authorities and environmental protection organizations is very important. Fishermen need to be trained and provided with full information on regulations and laws related to lobster protection and marine environmental protection. In addition, the application of new technology in monitoring, managing and protecting lobster resources is becoming increasingly necessary. GPS devices, lobster location trackers, or drone tracking systems are helping fishermen increase fishing efficiency while still ensuring compliance with environmental protection regulations. In addition to raising fishermen's awareness, another important factor is the development of the lobster consumption market. With high consumption demand, especially during the holidays, lobster is a valuable commodity. However, overconsumption can also lead to overexploitation of lobsters beyond the natural recovery capacity. Therefore, building and developing sustainable consumption channels, promoting lobster consumption models from aquaculture instead of relying solely on wild fishing, will help reduce pressure on marine resources. In addition, models of protecting and restoring marine ecosystems, such as the conservation of coral reefs and marine protected areas, also play an important role in maintaining the habitat for lobsters. Coral reefs and seabeds with natural structures are where lobsters hide, breed and grow. If their habitat is degraded due to pollution or overexploitation, it will directly affect lobster resources. Lobster fishing is not only a livelihood but also an important part in maintaining biodiversity and protecting marine ecosystems. If well managed, combined with sustainable fishing methods and environmental protection, this industry can survive in the long term, creating economic benefits for fishermen and contributing to the protection of marine resources for future generations. For the sustainable development of lobster fishing in the future, research and application of advanced scientific methods are very important. Studies on the biology of lobsters, their growth habits and migration will help fishermen determine the optimal time and area for fishing, and avoid overexploitation during the lobster spawning season. Fisheries research centers can also study methods for artificially breeding lobsters. which can increase supply and reduce pressure on natural fishing. Another long-term solution is to develop lobster farming models combined with environmental protection, such as lobster farming in marine areas with good natural conditions, where there are many coral reefs or other natural ecosystems. These models not only help fishermen have a stable income from farming but also create a favorable living environment for lobsters, limiting the decline in natural numbers. In addition, promoting ecotourism can also be a way to protect marine resources. Activities such as visiting marine reserves, diving to see corals, or even participating in lobster fishing experiences can become additional sources of income for fishermen. This is also a way to help the community raise awareness of protecting marine resources. While reducing the pressure of overexploitation of seafood, an indispensable factor is international cooperation in protecting marine resources. Coastal countries can establish cooperation agreements to protect lobsters, to reduce illegal exploitation and promote common environmental protection programs, together with international organizations. Measures such as responsible fishing, protecting lobster habitats and applying advanced technologies in monitoring will help protect lobsters and marine resources for both the present and the future. In short, for lobster fishing to not only develop sustainably but also protect the marine ecosystem, there needs to be close coordination between factors such as environmental protection, application of science and technology, development of lobster farming models and strengthening international cooperation. These efforts will contribute to making lobster fishing a stable and long-term industry, while protecting valuable marine resources. To develop lobster fishing sustainably and effectively, it is necessary to build a strict management and monitoring system from local to national levels. Authorities need to regularly inspect and control fishing activities, avoiding illegal fishing of lobsters, especially young lobsters. The application of modern technology such as automatic monitoring systems on fishing vessels or lobster location tracking devices helps fishermen comply with regulations and limit overfishing, while ensuring the protection of marine resources. In addition, providing information and raising awareness among the fishing community about the protection of marine resources and regulations related to lobster fishing is essential. Organizations, businesses and local authorities can organize training courses and seminars on aquatic resource protection, marine resource management and lobster protection measures in fishing communities. These will be important steps to help fishermen understand the importance of protecting marine resources, thereby proactively participating in environmental protection programs and developing sustainable fishing. In addition, developing domestic lobster processing facilities can also contribute to increasing economic value and creating more job opportunities for local people. Instead of just exporting live lobsters, Processed lobster products such as fresh lobsters, frozen lobsters, or specialty dishes made from lobsters can increase export value and promote the seafood processing industry in coastal localities. An important factor that cannot be ignored is the participation of the community in protecting and developing the lobster fishing industry. The fishing community can play an active role in protecting no-fishing areas or marine reserves, creating a safe habitat for lobsters. Community models for marine resource management, where people voluntarily participate in monitoring and protecting resources, have also been applied in many localities and brought positive results. Finally, to develop a sustainable lobster fishery, a long-term strategy and continuous efforts from fishermen, authorities and environmental protection organizations are needed. When these factors are combined harmoniously, lobster fishing will not only bring economic benefits to the community but also contribute to the development of the country. An indispensable factor in the sustainable development of the lobster fishing industry is the development of policies to support fishermen and businesses in participating in marine resource protection activities. The government can create financial, technical, and technology transfer support programs for fishermen, helping them improve their fishing capacity in a sustainable manner. Policies such as tax reductions for fishermen who use environmentally friendly fishing methods, support for investment in modern fishing equipment, or providing preferential loans for aquaculture development can also help increase fishermen's income and reduce pressure on natural resources. Another important solution is the establishment of marine reserves and no-fishing areas, to create natural seed banks for lobsters and other aquatic species. When these areas are well protected, lobsters can reproduce and thrive, providing a source of seeds for wild fishing areas. These marine reserves can be established and maintained with the participation of fishing communities, environmental protection organizations and authorities, to ensure long-term effectiveness. In addition to protecting and developing lobster resources, attention should be paid